Hello, hello guys. This is Louis Richard Davis from. I'm the maker of this site V2k, Peer Group Awareness, and I guess it was about I feel about time for me to give an update. I have some good news. Like I found, if you go to God, He'll show you how slowly but surely how to exit the system. My symptoms have dropped 70%. 70%. They're probably like, well, then what you did to get it that way? Well, God is the number one thing. Well, I, yep, that's it. I started listening to the Bible. I started putting the Bible books together that was taken out. I started taking care of myself. I started trying to change my mindset. And when they come to the physical world, when they trying to talk you to death. See, the thing about my situation with V2k is that it's on one ear. So I guess that was a blessing. Because what I do, you see what I'm doing right now? I have one ear that's playing information that's going to help me improve as a person and as a member of the community. They're gonna try to talk over it. That's when I knew that there was like some sort of fear or something, because they try to talk over it right now as they speak. Trying to compete with it. But one thing about it is, I forgot, they trick you into making you sacrifice your ear where that stuff coming from, where you just think of it as completely useless. But when I found out, the greatest thing to do is to actually use it to the point now I can actually hear again. I don't have the ringing in the ear, but the ringing in the ear, we all know, it's just for the method of being able to communicate with you when there's complete silence. So the thing is, that's it. I play the Bible in their ear to make them have to counteract and try to compete with. That's when you're gonna realize that how much power you have, because they're gonna really sit up there and try to try to out talk you when they have no way to be that fast. Nothing's that fast to compete with audio that they get that's coming from your ear, your primary hearing source. We have two hearing sources. We have the facial hearing system that we all should know about by now. And we have, of course, our primary hearing system, which is through the ear canal. And with the ear canal, the secondary hearing cannot compete with that. It can't. It's still there. Trust me, it's still there. And some people just get the voices, but I actually get magnetically manipulated. I can feel them touch, the emotional swaying, and all those things. It gets you to be shamed when you look at almost anything, and trying to make you. What I'm realizing all this stuff is trying to get you to depress. One, to be manageable, trying to get you to not be confident, and not even really like confidence, because that's the word I've been hearing a lot. You got to be confident. I don't believe that's the case. You got to know that no matter what state you in, your abilities are still there at all times. Even if you're at your lowest, just know that you don't have to build up some fake confidence. You just have to trust in God and trust in yourself that you are still there. All your powers and abilities are there. At one point in time, I had wrote down a list of things that we have going for ourselves. I don't have that list no more, but I can try to remember. I know we have Christ. We have the Christ-like abilities. We have our love electromagnetic wave. We have with the crystals. You have get the piezoelectric crystals you put in your head or in your hand. And I'm not sure if that's the piezoelectric ones. It's these. Let me see. These kind of crystals. I forgot the name of them, but and to close off your ears to make sure that don't have it in my ear, but I have it in my other ear. It's like metal crystals. I can't believe it must have fell out, and I didn't even notice it. Wow, that's crazy. But I have some more in my book bag. I have one in this ear, but it's so deep in there. To take it out, I'm not going through all that. You have the crystals in your ears, so they can, for some reason, they cancel out some of the stuff they could pull off on you. You get the other crystals you put in your hand or your head or your face. I just put it in my hair. When I put these crystals in my hair, it teach you a valuable lesson. You can tell when they're lying to you. when the back of your head, you could feel the magnetic things when they doing stuff to your brain. You could feel it everywhere. Like right now, I can feel it right here. And when you feel it in the back of your head, they're always God trying to reassure you that this is some Satan technology. They are always lying to you. If they not lying to you, they not telling the whole truth. And if it ain't not telling the whole truth, it's the agenda. It's always something of trash that comes along with it. Always. Never, ever, ever, ever think that it's anything other than that. You have to get to the point where instead of just being vulnerable, you have to get your crystals. Get your crystals and make sure that you pray at least 3 times a day. The easy way, but one thing you got to realize too, that until you start cleaning this stuff up yourself, it could take a long time for this stuff to get fixed. Because remember, we have God, we have Christ, and we have Monad. And Christ, Monad is the supreme ruler of supreme creator. And if we allow him to just have to do these things by himself, he cares about everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even Satan is supposed to be redeemed. So you gonna have to get your feet wet and start doing things to make sure this stuff don't get closed out effectively and promptly as possible. You have to learn to, when you communicate with people on the internet and all this stuff, ask them under penalty of perjury. Are you working for Satan? Are you seeking enrichment? Are you a government agent? Anything other than just no equates to yes. That's all it takes. From the moment you start talking to anybody on this internet ever again, the first thing you do is ask them under penalty of perjury, such. Are you an agent? Are you seeking enrichment? Do you worship Satan? Anything but or more than no equates to yes. Anything more than just saying no, because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna talk. They're gonna answer the question yes by doing it in a slick way, hoping you don't pay attention. Like if you say, "Is there anything more?" I used to say anything but or more than no equates to yes. But then they make it vague where they can say, "What do you mean?" But that means that yes, they didn't say just yes. So anything. If you under penalty of perjury, such and such, are you an agent? Anything than just saying no equates to yes. Anything than just saying no equates to yes. And by law and by spirit world, during this time or era, they have no choice but to tell the truth, because they still own this thing. They getting communicated with too. As soon as they read it in their system and their brain, they people gonna tell what you're gonna do. Tell the truth, right? They're gonna make them tell the truth. Don't listen to nobody on this system. You gotta realize that your level of participation into closing this situation out could be proportionate to the way these things are still in play, the level of things in operation. You cannot sit by and think that this stuff is going to get fixed without you doing it. That's the number one thing they got everybody doing, is that they thinking that somebody's going to come and fix this stuff for you, to the point where nobody's trying to fix it. Nobody. So you have to put yourself in a Christ-like aura, learn the books of the Bible that was taken out, put it together. I already should have the books already in the file section. Maybe screen who you talk to, that way you can filter most of these people out of here. Start conducting your own experiments. Talk to God every single day. Invoke the angels to come to your assistance. Learn the law, because when you learn the law, the Bible says, Proverbs 28:9, he who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. So that means if you don't know the law, that you're missing a major ingredient for the entities that from your spiritual history to act for you. They probably just in default. And you cannot be emotional out here. You cannot allow any of these things to get you in an emotional state. Because once you're in an emotional state, you're not thinking rational. And once you're not thinking rational, you're vulnerable to manipulation. And once you're vulnerable to manipulation, you're vulnerable to create chaos. And once you're vulnerable to create chaos, you're a threat to everybody else around you. So you got to realize that this stuff is the basics, is fake. It's quantum computers. Coming from the D-Wave quantum computers coming from the police station, mixed with HAARP, and ain't no human beings that's talking to you. Ain't no man or woman that's talking to you. You can simulate your thoughts and change the voices. They'll keep you up all night. They'll use about 8 different voices to simulate a shift or something. It's all a joke and strategy. And how far are you willing to go to make this stuff stop? Are you willing to get out your comfort zone? Are you willing to let everybody think you crazy until you find other people and they be like, oh, this happening to me too, to stop this stuff? The one thing I learned about us as living souls is that you have to, this is the great quiet era right now. You got to be studying and finding out what's going on and how to stop these things. You cannot sit back and just think that somebody else is going to come save you, because by that time, somebody probably is going to come save you, but you don't know how long that's going to take. You don't know how long this stuff is going to take. Remember, the supreme ruler, it says even Satan could be redeemed. So what makes you think that do you see how delicate that sounds? You got to start taking control of your life and in the situation yourself. It's no other way around it. And just guess what? All this stuff is happening to everybody. When I say everybody, it's just that they don't talk to everybody. They wait for a bad incident to come into people's life. That's when they do it. They wait for a breakup, a death in the family, homelessness, abuse of drugs, betrayal, poverty. And then when you're walking down the street talking to yourself, everybody gonna think you're going on drugs. But you know when you see people walking down the streets now, and they talking to themselves, you know better now. They just been unprotected, and then you know that they was trained to make this look like schizophrenia. But if you look at the schizophrenia videos, you'll see that one killer thing that lets you know this not schizophrenia. Because schizophrenia videos, they talk vague, they talking out there in the distance. This shit is talking to you directly. It's talking to you. It's talking about you. It's bringing up your old stuff. It's trying to blackmail you. It's trying to get you to join Satan. They're trying to shame you. They're not just talking out there in the air like some old audience and stuff. They're not doing that. They are talking to you directly. You have to start taking care of yourself. I got every vitamin that's inside the cornerstone. That way, the hard thing, they got everybody hearts tripping. You gotta exercise every single day, no matter what. You gotta exercise every single day. Take your vitamins until you endure through this stuff. Be able to get out your comfort zone. How far are you willing to go to make this stuff stop? 9 times out of 10, the people in this group are either gone or they're agents. And I told you the easy way to do it. What's the easy way to do it? To find out. Right. Ask under penalty of perjury, such and such, are you an agent seeking enrichment or worshiping Satan? Anything than just saying no equates to yes. And they, by law and by spirit world, they have to answer the question. So when you see anything other than other than no, they said yes. Anything other than just plain no, if it say no, what do you mean? That's still saying yes. No, what are you talking about? They're still saying yes. What are you talking about? They're still saying yes. Come on, man. They saying yes. Are you nuts? They're still saying yes. Do not fall for none of that stuff. I tried all these techniques to get the voices to go down to the point where I can't really. The best thing to do is just to thank God. There's no way. I mean, I read this a long time ago where it said the things that's going on right now, God felt bad because it was like he said there's no way for us to get around this without his help. And that came back to my head today, and he's right. God was right. There's no way you're going to get through this without God. It's not going to happen. It's not. You've already bombarded 24/7 with bad thoughts. You're already emotional stuff they're trying to get on you. You already know your bad stuff that they got infiltrated you, and you done had bad childhood experiences. They got all your information. They want you to worship Satan. They want you to be a low level, low vibrating, miserable person to be just manipulated, and they hoping that you just stay like that and don't try to find no exit out of this stuff. It's always one thing I found out through God too, is that he said there's nothing that you can go through that you can't bear. And if you go to the Bible books that was taken out of the Bible, he said if you're going through something, you go through it. So that means when I interpret that, that made me analyze, okay, so what's happening right now? Okay, my voices they not some schizophrenic stuff because they talking to me. They not talking out here in the air. I'm just hearing voices just saying, "Hey Charlie, I'm hungry," something like that. No, they are actually talking to me. Get you some earplugs. If you got, I don't know how you guys do it with the 2 ear thing. My heart goes out to y'all because unfortunately, I don't know how I can experience that to know what a good method to counter that. But I would suggest like the isochronic tones. Talk to God. Get the crystals in your ears, both ears. I can't believe I dropped my crystal out my ear and didn't notice it all this time. That is really devastating, but that's all right. I got some more. And then it's in the right ear. The most important part is in the left ear where the stuff coming from. Take all the vitamins. When you still go inside the store, the corner store, the not the pharmacy, but like Family Dollar. I don't know if y'all got Family Dollar where y'all at, or Walgreens or something like that. God said everything that you need is around you. If you can afford it, you get all of them. Every single vitamin that exists in there, every single one of them. You divide up your time to take them accordingly, and that way that your hard stuff and with your faith, you'll feel it's still there, but it ain't gonna be like it's only get to a certain threshold if you violate the dark priesthood codes. If they deem you under certain sanctions to be punished for being for drinking and smoking and stuff like that, they'll do stuff like that to you. But when it comes to just normal behavior, nobody has they couldn't get the computers to get you to do that, the computers to do that stuff. So you gotta be the one to put yourself in those positions. You gotta be the one that don't be protected and don't have no protections to deal with the situation. You have to be the one that don't have no strategy when you get up. As soon as you get up, you pray to God. You don't have to really, what I do, I don't really say words. I symbolize things and through scenes, because God said you don't pray to nobody in front of other people. So I know that they can't go nowhere. So I just pray in symbols. I go up in the sky. I think about the people that's down here, like like they need God's energy and help, and their energy releasing out into the air, and then I see it and it's going up past me. So I put my hands up too, and then God and Christ and the Monad, the Supreme Creator, they send down a flood of light so bright that you can't see it, and then everybody's cups get filled up, overflowing with water, to the point when I look down, I see triples of water like it was on the streets or something. Then I visualize a cup of water in a kitchen, overflowing with water, and then I visualize a cup of water, not a cup, what those old mugs made of metal from the old days inside an underground well, and some young girl is holding, and it's just overflowing with water, and it's a fountain in the background, and like some light coming out of like it's a hole or something. And then when I do that, that's it. Don't let these things hear you pray and all that stuff, because there's no need for that. Realize that the Christ era is here, and no matter what, but this stuff is going to get done. But the thing about it is, you don't want to be a tragedy or caught up in the mix about something that you can minimize and help bring to an end. Because remember, this stuff is delicate. If the Supreme Creator said even the saint could get redeemed, so you know that they really doing a lot of negotiating and stuff. And we are forgetting that we are mortal and mortal. So they probably, you never know if the chips on the table. Like, hey, some of it, when the people that's dying right now, you see how everything going like the Bible said, they're leaving here. You don't know that they probably looking at it like, man, there ain't no other way to get around this stuff, because they got everything hostage. Some people just gotta die to get released. We're gonna be immortal anyway. When you die, you know one thing about dying: you get up and go somewhere else. So you're gonna have to make a decision to fight for your life if you want to stay here. Because right now they said the meek shall inherit the earth, and if you know what to do, you don't have to taste death. That stuff is happening right now. I feel like I'm getting younger and younger every day now. For the past about 7 to be honest, 4 to 11 days, I feel like I'm getting younger. You know, learn the Bible, learn the books that was taken out, learn the law. Because remember, the law about us going to these churches and thinking that we's getting some type of service done, but we actually putting a middleman between God and us. That's why we don't have the power that we think we should have, or the communication, or the relationship, because we letting one man tell us how to read one book that we all can read our goddamn self. We got the book, but them they not telling you about Proverbs 28:9. He who turns a deaf ear to the law, even in prayer, shall be abomination. How can we not know something like that? So that would mean everybody walking down this road here on this earth supposed to know the law. But nobody knows the law. You don't even know how to defend yourself if you get locked up right now. That's you know how hard it is to probably just summon through and then our communication text, our vocabulary is commerce. It's not of spirituality. We just putting ourselves deeper and deeper into a hole, and we blaming God when everybody making it difficult. See, like I go out here and pass these flyers out, let people know and stuff. But how can my flyers compete with all the funds and resources that everybody's backing by the system that's doing this stuff? And then how most people are scared to go out here and come out of their comfort zone and just tell, hey everybody, we under attack, we got the mind control thing going on. And then not only that, we are infiltrated by these type of groups. Well, you see how many people in this group? Is probably one, maybe even one that's sincere. And the easy way you can tell, just start weeding them out. Let any one of them talk, or you bring them up in this group chat, just start weeding them out. Hey, on the penalty of perjury, are you here for you're an agent? Are you here to seek enrichment? Do you worship saying anything than just the word no means yes? And now you know that when they say, what do you mean, come on now, anything like that, other than just no and nothing behind it, they said yes. All right, then block them out here, report them to me. And it's law classes. I got law classes inside the group. You go in there, learn how to be in the case including murder. I should have them. If I don't have it now, I have it in there today. The books on how to be not the books to be in the case, but all the books of the Bible that was taken out. I also have the mind control books, the books that shows you exactly who came up with this stuff, Henry Puharich. And what it is, Radiohead protocols, everything is there. So if you're reading this message, you are the resistance, and trust this. There's two things you gotta know. One is that you are an individual, and no matter what's going on with everybody out here, it don't have to be you. If you're so important to God that Everybody could be getting something happening to them, but it don't mean it have to happen to you. You just have to pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the system, know your Bible and the parts that was taken out, know the law. When you do those things, the angel number's gonna start coming. 111, 222, 333. Pray is simple. And also know that you can help these people out here too. If you're willing to go out your comfort zone and meet people out here. You gotta learn to be able to take a lot of risks for your own spiritual health. Because at the end of the day, no telling how many times we already probably done died. And what's the big deal when you we immortal anyway? Because you already know as soon as you die, you get up and go somewhere else. We just don't. We have a system that's making us move so fast that we don't have time to analyze what's the missing pieces. And then we got the HAARP. I mean the V2k on top of everybody else. While it's talking to you, it's mind controlling everybody else to be emotional, make them don't think about nothing, make them think about sports, TV, celebrities, music, all those things, everything. But why I gotta pay for rent? Why? Where the devil at? God send the angels down here. Where they at? And then another thing too, like when did the demons get bad? We can get a bad rap. When you start putting the Bible together, you'll realize that it's not what you think it is. Because think about it now. If the bad guys are the fallen angels, where did the demons get the bad rap? We don't know. We all this time to sit back and start over and look at the system all over again. 2 + 2 = 4. You gotta look at that shit again, because 1 + 1 = 3. One man and one woman can make another one, and that makes 3. The sun is inside the atmosphere, it's flat. And we thought, oh no, they ain't had no technology back there. But guess what? Their technology was more advanced than our stuff. We've been going to indoctrination. If you've got to sit down somewhere boring and have to listen to something and you get punished severely if you don't remember this stuff, that's indoctrination. You should want to learn this stuff. Everybody should be outside talking about it. But who talks about school when they leave it? Nobody does. And then our parents give the illusion of the sure shot of success by attending those type of ceremonies. And then you know what happened when you turn 18, 19, you graduate, you don't know what the fuck to do. You end up, because you know why? Because when you learn the law, it's public service school. All you're doing is learning to be a public servant, go work at a job. It's just what they're telling you public school for, because we trained in our head to think public means out in the open. That's what they be thinking about. But you got to realize that we have a law dictionary and we have a Webster dictionary and we have black law dictionary, and it's about 8 or 9 different versions of it, and each one of them have words in it that have alteration. We have thesaurus, we have etymology. All these things is being played on you to get you to stay at the public education, get you at a 7th grade reading level, and that's it. So you could just hear words and you go along with it, and you talking to other people. Y'all talk about nothing all day. All it did was a day filler. You smoke weed and all this stuff. Your mind done got you all the whole day done went by without you questioning nothing. And then all day you sit there and watch people on TV that look like they got more stuff than you. It's shame you, like, man, I gotta be doing something, man. Make you thinking that you gotta go out here and do some scheme or scam because you sit on TV. But how can you do a scheme and scam if you don't know how to defend yourself in court? That's what they got everybody out here doing. As soon as you get out here, you'll fast track to sell dope and all this stuff. Go do the schemes, go do the scams. But soon as you get locked up and don't know the law, all your resources, everything that you would work for is right out the window. It's gone. You try to sit up here and work out here, see everybody trying to do sports and stuff because they thinking they finna get paid. It's a way to get paid, but you already paid. You just don't know the law. You don't know economics. You don't know spiritual history. And then by you giving up all your resources to everybody, the system, when your own people come along and try to tell you about it, even though they done snuckily somehow, some way found through God the the information, but you looking for that big presentation, somebody sitting back in the tie, because you brainwashed to think that it's some, when you see the news, that stuff is actually benefiting you. You think that when you're watching TV or a TV show or a movie that it has any factual basis whatsoever. It doesn't. Right? It's television programming, and until you look outside of this stuff and see what the law is and what the Bible is, unedited and put all back together, you're a threat to everybody around you. Because the police come by and just like arrest people, and even though they don't have no authority to be on anything other than at the corporate buildings, and you sit down and watch it, that means that you a threat, because you'll sit down and let tyranny go on, because you don't think that's your duty as a man or woman to regulate your system and justify its existence. And if you don't protect yourself, you're gonna be in an emotional state where they just gonna try to roll you over. If you wasn't so important, why would they be going through all this stuff? If you don't ever think that you doing this stuff, this stuff happening to you, it's not happening to every single person out here. The only difference is that you are special, and you can see through this stuff, and you can analyze, and you got something that they knew that they couldn't control of you to go down the path of just straight destruction like everybody else has had. And they seen all them people taking shots, even though the drug company said, hey, you can't sue us if you die. And look at all these people dying. They try to blame it on the people not taking it. Oh, I died because they didn't take the drug with me. And then all my relatives, they got the heart problems. They talking weird. They acting funny. They emotional. I'm like, hey, did you take the jab? No, but they ain't got nothing to do with it. So, yep. The recap. Talk to God. Get the crystals. Put them in your hand. Put them in your ear. Learn the law. And put the law link to Malika and lawfulliving.com. You ain't got, and then you have the books from the Bible that I already done gathered up. It's in audio and visual and text format. And then the only thing missing is you and God and the angels that you invoke to have come into your life. You're gonna start seeing the numbers 111, 222, 333, and all and whatnot like that. And then that's when you're gonna know that it's real out here. They just in a different world that we in the physical world, and they in the spiritual world, but they can still be able to communicate with you, because you're gonna notice when you look somewhere and they can tell when you're gonna do this stuff. Because when you're looking down and see the numbers, like that's what give me reassurance. Because if they could see, they knew I was gonna do that, then I know that that someone's in control. And everything's gonna be okay. All I have to do is just play my part. And that's all you gotta do is play your part. Don't let this system just go unchallenged, and don't wait for the physical Christ to come down here. When you have the monad power in you have Christ in you, and you have God in you. You have all these three ingredients. Just be programmed to not utilize them through public service school. You never knew about Proverbs 28:9. He who turns a deaf ear to the law, even your prayers are abomination. Didn't know that you to put the Bible books together to get the full story. You didn't know your parents ain't no shit. They under mind control, just like everybody around you. Look at, if the easy way you could tell everybody under mind control, nobody you know in your entire population of history of acquaintance knows all four: economics, law, spiritual history, how to regulate the government. Not one of them. Because we all out of cookie cutter machine trying to get us to think all the same. When we are unique, there'll never be another one of you in human history. And everything that you watch on TV is for a reason. Every movie that you watch is for a reason. They do not allow anything to be played or seen on the air that doesn't have a specific reason. And that's when you're gonna have to realize that you're gonna have to get out here and you change the flow of how things going, to risk yourself looking crazy, so everybody start putting together. Because trust me, within on your block is one other person that's thinking and going through the same thing as you. everybody's going through the same thing as you, but there's one person on your block that's can sense it, and they get fucked with directly through they talking to them directly. Everybody else, they going through it too. They just they don't speak to them. They swim in emotions. They make them do stuff. You know how when you look at things and they make you have certain thoughts push your blood through your head. It's not even thoughts. It's projections of words, and then they try to mess with your brains and your face to get that simulated emotion. Like they took somebody and made them go through the emotions, and then they scanned their face and brain to see how they feel the face or whatever in the background moved and did things. So what they did is they just simulated that, and when you go through stuff that make you think that you something mad, make you angry, and all these things, but it's not. It's just a simulation to if you got to pay attention to it. So these past couple of days, the voices have dropped 70%, 70%. And then I had I guess I might as well tell you that I was learning the law, and I try to pass the flyers out to everybody out here, but I'm realizing that everybody's under mind control, and it was a lesson to let people know all this stuff. And I got evicted yesterday. So, but it is what it is, because sooner or later we all gonna have to stand up for ourselves and take a big risk out here to let people know this is everything that they're going through is not just them, because everybody is just faking the funk, like they just playing the game, because they don't tell nobody that they're going through the same stuff as you. Everybody's going through the same thing as you. We are completely divided as we can get, and they trying to conquer. As long as you keep watching TV and going and not trying to fix this stuff and start analyzing this and going through this stuff and seeing what can you do about it, and start talking to God, because you know what they did? They said, okay, man, we were doing this stuff. The priesthood could do this stuff to you. And then I'll say, okay, then, so you know what? I'm going to I'm going to make my own priesthood. And now I'm in my 180th day, around 150, 180th day of the priesthood, of my own priesthood. And that's what Christ wants you to be like. He don't want you to be dependent on nobody for you go to somebody's facility to learn stuff. Why is that? Why you have to do that when you have the ability to read the book yourself? Because when you do that, when you read somebody else's stuff instead of the source material, you open yourself up to manipulation and propaganda. So go straight to the source, learn all the information you can, read the Bible, that books that was taken out, put together. Learn the law, Proverbs 28:9, he who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayer is abomination. Get out your comfort zone. Stop the perpetrators in his tracks with the contract. Under penalty of perjury, are you an agent seeking enrichment or worshiping Satan? Anything than just the word no equals yes. Learn about the where this come from. Radiohead Protocol. The book is inside the class, inside the group. Radiohead Protocol. Henry Puharich, since the 40s, came up with this stuff, and the hearing aid, he said it wasn't really to hear for you to hear, it's for you didn't get the message. You didn't get the message. These people, and then just take care of yourself and get ready for the Christ era, because it's here. It's nothing they could do to stop it. It's just that you got to make sure you don't want to take no extra more punishment than you have to until it's fully implemented. And that's it. Stop watching that satanic stuff. Stop listening to that music. There's nothing there for you. Because even then, when you learn the book of Proverbs, it say for somebody to sing emotional stuff to you and breakup songs and stuff like that, we didn't know it's satanic, but it says it's the same person that'll do that to you. It's the same person that'll go out, take your clothes off of you, off your backs, and when you exit into a winter storm. So all the things that we do out here, we don't know that they trying to train us to be Satan. But I'm here to tell you, it's impossible. Because the only way that they got these things going on, because they tricked a whole bunch of people. Nobody would voluntarily, with full knowledge, go along with any of this stuff that's going on. We give an illusion that everything's been checked and verified by people that's in our best interest, but it may have been, but they are swallowed up by the media machine. They don't have the resources at this current point, but it shouldn't matter. It don't have to be. All you have to do is start learning your spiritual abilities, and you can see through discernment, and that'll filter out a lot of things and get a lot of bad spirits from around everybody, so it could clear up. Because when God said, if it's 2 or 3 or more in His name, He is there. When you thinking about God, that's another reason why you hang around your friends. Even though y'all don't talk about much, but when y'all talk about God, it feel good, and then y'all don't really care for each other. It's just because God is there. Y'all waste a lot of time talking about nothing. But I guess that's it for now. The update is my voices has dropped out 70%. I used to talk to God every day, 3 times a day I pray. I learned the law, learned the Bible. I learned to use contracts to get these people to force themselves to reveal themselves. 98% of the people on Facebook is worshiping Satan. You don't realize that those numbers are inflated. When you see groups in the thousands, but you pay attention and study the groups, you'll see that only 50 people are speaking on those groups at all times. Only 50 people. Know to recognize that everybody's going through the same thing. They just don't speak to everybody. And get out your comfort zone. How bad you want this stuff to end? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to go out be homeless for this stuff to end? How bad are you willing to get this stuff out your head? And God said, if you're going through something, go through it, analyze it, study it. What's going on? You will not go through nothing more than you can't handle. You can't. It's impossible. So all you have to do is just stand and fight and use your tools. Everything is around you. He said everything you need is around you. I started taking all the vitamins because before that my chest was hurting and stuff. The dark priesthood said I'm under a priesthood thing where if I smoke and drink they can hurt me. So I stopped smoking and drinking. Anything, we just gotta know that we are under something very serious, and everybody's mind control to think that nothing's going to happen. But if you keep playing along with the going along to get along, eventually you're going to go down that road of destruction that God said was broad. Because if everybody's doing it, and you assume that we thinking we under a nation of God, but we don't know which God, that somebody on our best interest have verified it and published it to prevent anything of wrongdoing to be happening to us. But that is not the case. We watch too much media. We don't look at nothing alternative. We don't know our laws. We don't know economics. We under mind control. So we taking the shortcut out by watching the news, and we taking the shortcut out of telling our problems to people, because we don't let people know, like, hey, I'm getting evicted, or these things, what's going on with me. We talk about nothing. We talk about the Dolphins, we talk about the LeBron stuff, and then we feel good about it, but when we go back in the house, our problems are still right there. Well, I guess that's it. The fight for the transition to Christ is in full effect. It ain't really nothing too much to worry about. As far as the near future coming, that this stuff gonna be a wrap. You can also prevent yourself from getting any more messed up, or limit the lashes of what's going on by taking care of yourself, being self-educated, get the law, get the Bible books that was taken out, and put that together, and you'll be able to see the angels come to you, and that's it. I think I covered everything. The crystals in your ears. Get the crystals for read the book, Radiohead Protocols. I'm gonna put the law classes, link to the law classes inside the group. The Bible books that was taken out, that's gonna be in there. And the books are already for Henry Puharich, the inventor of this in the 1940s, already there. All right, this is Louis, aka Richard. This is V2k Peer Group Awareness, signing off. And remember, This group is for peer review. So since I don't see nobody doing nothing, I assume that you are either inactive or you here to watch, inspire. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again in the future.